Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, we could really use your help. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, recently named the Too Opinionated podcast one of its top 100 podcasts. This is a monumental feat for this program. You know, we're a father and son team out of a small town in West Virginia, have been doing this for about 5 years. There's 15 million podcasts out there. About 40,000 of those get to the point that they're listed on IMDb. Out of those 40,000 out of the 15 million, we were ranked number 82. Something that we're just immensely proud of. We're so thankful for our listeners, our watchers, our fans. Thank you so, so much. If you would like to help us out, and we're asking for it, please. It's easy. It's really easy. It's free. If you go to IMDb, that's imdb.com, look up Too Opinionated Podcast, and just take a look at the page. That's all you have to do. I mean, you're welcome to look at the cast, look at the episodes so you can kind of see who's been on the program. Do whatever you want. But even just bringing up the page, imdb.com, Too Opinionated Podcast, bring up the page, look at it. That helps us so much. So please, if you can do anything, we would really appreciate that. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Love to have your subscription there. It's also free. And you can also check out our website, meistercon.com, where you'll find almost 700 episodes, audio and video, available on there. There's also a terrific blog from Brett, and it'll let you know anything that we have going on in studio, if we're covering a convention, if we're going on location, anything that we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so, so much. We appreciate you so much. I can't express enough how appreciative we are of all of you. We never expected to do as well as we have, and that's all because of you. Thank you so much. Enjoy that interview. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited. Today, I've got director, writer, Lynne Stoltz with me. So welcome, Lynne.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
Yeah, we've been trying for a little while to get going. It's not our fault. Well, it could be our fault, but we're going to say it's not.
Let's say it's not. I prefer to go with the rest of the evening knowing that it's not.
That's right. We got enough to worry about. Let somebody else worry about that. Well, Lynne, welcome. Thank you for doing the show. I'm so excited to talk about the movie. We'll get to that, but let's back up a little bit and talk about you. You know, tell me a little bit about what got you into entertainment. You know, what got you writing, directing.
Sort of drug reluctantly, I guess. It was not something that I planned to do. It started with a book that I wrote.
Yeah.
The writing part of this started with a book that I wrote, and I did it for myself. I did not do it for the rest of the world. But my husband was an entrepreneur, and he's got a book. We're going to sell this book, and it's fine, do it. Nobody's going to buy it. Well, it did well. Actually, going to do a film about it, and actually,
he was right.
He was. I know, but I'm not that. See, Sasha, thank goodness, has that gene from her father. It just went out and it did well. Maya Angelou, the late Maya Angelou, read the book and the script and was attached to direct it for us. So
I read that, and that just boggled my mind. I didn't even know she did that sort of thing.
No, I was totally blessed and humbled by it, and everyone kept saying, "Wow, she's going to do it." And I said, "I'm just happy she read it." I was not. To me, that was the thing and related to it. But we went forward, and I started doing a few things. And David Carradine, the late David Carradine, was godfather to Sasha.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sasha's godfather. And he's very close to my husband. And that's how that kind of started. And he was doing a series here in Toronto. and said, I want you to write, that's just David, if you know anything about David, he said, I want you to write, Lynne, I want you to write for me. I want that heart and that soul and whatever. And I never did do that, but that's sort of where it came from. It just, I started thinking of things that I wanted to do, and a circumstance came up here in Toronto that sort of initiated the thought of doing Sons to the Grave.
Yeah,
And
I love that. So the original book was Loud Silence, is that right?
yes, sir. Yeah. I have a new one coming out in the new year called The Other Side of the Bed.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about that one real quick. What's that one about?
Well, that's sort of the experience. I lost my husband.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. It was very sudden, and it was a journey. And I decided to do a story, but not a story where, you wanted to, like, you didn't want to listen to this person anymore because you're over it. You know how you watch stories, you go, I feel sorry for you, but get on, or move on.
Yes.
That's kind of, and I didn't want it to be that way. So I set it in Los Angeles, and Beverly Hills. The woman was a writer, the husband was a producer, and it sort of went on that journey where it's difficult. People do treat you a little differently. They just do. They don't mean to, but they do. And you learn to go that, you move on. And that's exactly what the book is. Even Lifetime said it's one of the best they've heard, thank goodness, or read on that subject, where you did enjoy the story, as odd as that may sound. So
that's terrific, and not an easy subject to write on, because you're so emotionally attached. Good for you. Congratulations on that one. Do you have a release date on that one yet?
No, it's early 2024, so either January, February.
That's coming fast.
It is coming fast, and that will be our second movie. Loud Silence will be first, and The Other Side of the Bed will be second. But the series is the one that we're going to do. The series from our movie is what we're working on right now.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So it's Son to the Grave. What's the movie about? Or what's the story about?
There's a story. It started with nothing to do with myself, and something in the beginning I did not understand. And there was an incident that happened here in Toronto, and I decided that I was going to do a story on it. And I went into the neighborhood. It was an at-risk neighborhood. And I walked it with different people who would understand the neighborhood better than I. Walked it with Bill Duke, walked it with Director X. And I realized some of the, I'm going to say assumptions. I don't know if you have another word for it, that we make when we hear things. We go like, well, they should have made different choices. Well, like these young men and young women, but mostly young men. Well, it's not always that easy to make the choice that you would have. You're coming from a different.
That's right. You're not in the situation.
No, for sure. And you didn't live that life. And this is about a young man who was very young guy. He's cocky and he's extremely talented. And he was going to be going to the NBA. And he got caught up in situations that you can't just walk away when you decide, I'm done and I'm leaving. I'm on my way, because you can't really do that. You kind of, I think that's why a lot of the times that comes with these young men. And not always the best choices that they make. It's about choices. It's about your choices that you make. And so we talk to faith leaders, community leaders, political people, and people that live in these neighborhoods. And we hopefully came up with not answers, because I don't think anybody has the answers, but some suggestions along the way. We're very blessed to be able to show it to MLK3. We flew to Atlanta and had a private screening with him, and he seemed to think that we did the right thing. So we've been blessed. We know, seriously.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you're right. Those situations, especially when somebody's really talented like that, they don't always know how to handle that Correct.
And a young man at 18, there, it goes with the territory in many ways.
Yeah, it does. It does, because at that age, we don't know anything.
No, no. All the guys, it's true. They don't know anything. And they don't have any fears, and they don't want to, I think, be seen as weak, which we address that in Sons to the Grave. We address that. And we address the part of, we split the Hudson is the community that we call it.
Right.
We split it by this bridge that divides the at-risk community from the wealthy, the connected, the politically inclined. Not always you can't always say on this side's all the good people and on this side's all the bad people. We tend to live that kind of thinking sometimes, and we have to do more, I think, of taking care of the people that need help, the people that need our assistance a little bit, and not just forget about it and go, they're over there and we're here and our lives will never meet.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And a lot of times that's exactly what we do. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, exactly. Or we buy tickets to a charity, or we whatever, and which is good. We need that. But we it could use a little concern, a little help. We show how the coach of the basketball team in our film opens up the community center so that he can have these little guys come in. They're 6 or 7 to 10, they're 8, before anything really could go too wrong. Yeah. And teach them a sense of, family, a sense of community, and the rules that you have to follow to be a part of that. And I hope we did that. I hope we did the right thing. And it seems that the movie is doing well, and I hope that everyone sees what we tried to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. Are you a basketball fan?
I am a basketball fan. I am. I fight with my allegiance because I was a Lakers fan way before we had a Raptors team here in Toronto.
Yeah.
But I have to say Raptors now because that's where my heart is.
I was going to say it's a law there, I think, that you have to be a Raptors fan if you're somewhere around Toronto.
No, you absolutely have to. Yeah, absolutely. My dream is to have like 4 seats at the game. That's it. That would make me the happiest person.
Yeah, that's a pretty good dream.
Yeah, that is.
I'm also a Lakers fan. I'm clear across the country, but I grew up, a Magic Johnson fan, so I'm a Lakers fan.
Oh, totally. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Well, now it's LeBron. You got to hope he brings it for your team. He brings it every time he steps on the floor anyway.
He's pretty amazing.
Oh my God. Unbelievable athlete.
Yeah, he really is. Well, so when you were kind of working on the story, what kind of research did you have to do for the book? Did you interview people, or how did you get the kind of the ideas for the story?
Well, I didn't do a book of Sons to the Grave. That's not a book.
Right, the film. Sorry.
You're talking about the film, right?
Yeah.
Well, I did a lot of research because with this incident that came up was about a young man that was shot and killed on this bridge that divides the community. When it happened, everyone had their opinion, of course, but I wanted to do the story. My husband was very much the person that wanted this to be done. He was a very much everyone is the same, and everyone should be we should be our brother's keeper. It shouldn't just be something that we say. And so I walked it, like I said, with people who knew that, and I wrote the story, and then thought maybe I'm going to get a lot of flack for doing this story. Maybe I'm the one shouldn't be the one to do this story, but I write from the heart for sure. That's me, for better or for worse. And did the story and gave it to Danny Glover. And Danny...
It's not a terrible person to give it to.
No, it's not a terrible person. Danny is an amazing person. Danny is amazing. And I am so thankful that he read it and said, Lynne you gave understanding to both sides. Not saying if you want to say the bad was bad and the good was good, but you gave understanding as to how they got to that point.
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted to tell in the story, and that's what you did. He said you sort of ripped the heart out, stomp on it, and put it back in. So I'll take all of that as a compliment.
Well, yeah, of course, and you should, and you should. What's the feedback been on it?
Oh, I'm not that person that's going to. I don't want to talk. It's doing very well. It's
Yeah.
doing really well. The IMDb rating has stayed unbelievably high for us, and
Good for you.
I'm really humbled by it. I can't say anything else, but that I am really humbled by it, and that's why we decided to take it a little further and do a television series.
I know, that's amazing that you're already to the point where you're talking about the series. The
Yeah,
movie
we've written
now.
the 4 scripts have been written as well for the series.
Will it just pick up where the movie left off, or is it just in the same area?
Well, it will be called Hudson.
Mhm.
It will be about the police department, 51st precinct in Hudson, of course,
Yeah.
made out. That has to police, if you want to say that, both sides of the bridge equally, which,
Right.
okay. But it'll also be about it's sort of a cross between Blue Bloods and Chicago PD. You know, and I'm sure you know both those shows.
That sounds pretty good to me. I'd
Well,
watch that.
I hope you do. I love Blue Bloods for the family, for the
Yeah.
for the things we take away from it. Where there's something I take away, not just the police chasing the bad guy and doing whatever, but when the family gets together, the things they talk about, it comes from the heart. It sits with me, and I think then you watch Chicago PD, which I love. I love the show, love the people, love it.
Yep.
Amazing. Dick Wolf can do no wrong, as far as I'm concerned.
Agree.
It's less of a from the heart if you don't watch for it, I guess. If you know what I mean, it's not as like the group as obvious as it is in Blue Bloods. So I want to bring a little bit of the Blue Bloods to the Chicago PD type show in this neighborhood, and see if people watch it and take something home from it. And I hope they do. I hope they'll see what we are trying to do. I'd like to bring in, which we are bringing in, hip hop icons, athletes,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, to do like a cameo. Let's say come in and speak to these young boys in the community center, these young, saying,
That's
you don't
great.
have to be a basketball player. You can cook. You can do
Right.
whatever. These kids can't grow up and say, well, if I can't be LeBron James, I can't live, but you can. So we're going to try and do that and bring some attention to it that way. And
I love the
hopefully,
fact that you wrote the story, but it's not just a movie or a TV show. You're actually trying to do some good with it.
well, we're going to try. One thing I won't say what came out of the screening with Mr. King, but one thing I can say is that when we're talking about doing exactly this, bringing something together so that the message, if you want to put it that way, stays after you shut that TV off. And he brought that and said, sometimes that doesn't happen, but what can you do in order to make people say, I remember that, or even to yourself, not that a television show is going to guide your life, but it might make a difference somewhere. So we're going to try and do that. And that's what we're going to try and do.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
it's important. Faith and family and community is very important to me. That's what I know. And that's what I write.
Yeah. That's so, love the fact that it's becoming a TV show so we can continue the story and get to know more about the town.
I would love you to follow this because you seem to understand where we're going with it. And I'd love, you to watch this episodes.
I'll be watching.
Come out and say like, hey, yeah, she did what she said she was going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there do you have a timeline yet for the TV show, or is it still too early for that?
Well, it was on track actually before the strike and before the extended strike and before whatever. So I'm not sure of the timeline, but the 4, I think we're going to do 8. I think was the thing was 8 or 6 or 8, and 4, almost 5 written. So it won't be hard to do. And we have some amazing people saying like, we'll do this, we'll, as long as the writing is what it was in Sons to the Grave, will do that. Sons to the Grave seems to have hit everybody's heart.
Yeah.
They all did it, not just for the dollars and cents. They did it, all the cast and crew. They did it because they wanted the message to come out. Everyone was attached to that. So I was very fortunate. Very fortunate.
I think a lot of people relate to that story, whether they went through it personally themselves, but they can relate to it.
Yeah, I think they can. And I think, like, I've had people say, well, I watched it and I realized maybe I do. Maybe I am like that. Maybe I don't want to be. Even the people on the good side of the bridge, whatever. I've had people say, yeah, I guess that's me. I'm going to have to try a little harder. And maybe if it gets all of us to try just a little harder, because there's no one answer. And I don't think anyone really has, this is what you have to do to improve those circumstances. I don't think so. I think we just have to try our very best. And what else can we do?
That's all you can.
That's exactly right. So we're gonna try and do that with this. I'm very excited about it.
Well, I'm excited for you, and I understand that the music behind it has done really well.
Yeah, the music in Sons was I can't. It was a long time getting to this music and getting the right thing that felt right. When you're the writer and when you're emotionally attached to it, I listened to like 30 songs and go, no, that didn't do it. They go, what do you mean it didn't do it? Everybody would come in. What do you mean? Pick one and get it done. But in the end, we did. And one of the songs, "Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone" by Sean Jones, is up for a Hollywood Music and Media Award, which was totally surprising to us. We were so taken aback by it. Not by the song, but just that someone crossed the border. Is not always easy for someone across the border. Recognize that the song and the scene, it's in a very, 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 very emotional scene in the movie, the funeral scene. And Sean's voice is undeniably incredible.
A good singer.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
He is so good. And when we started this movie, we had, a very, very tight budget. It was like, no one believes what we made the movie for. And everyone just came in and said, okay, we're doing that. I've known Sean for many, many years. And Sasha's been a publicist for Sean for many years. And I phoned him and said, Sean, I need this song. I need you to give me this song. And he says, Lynne, you got it. He did it. He made it work. He didn't, he just said, it's yours. Here, give it. It's yours. Man. So not many people do that,
No, very few do that.
I was just going to say, very few people that I know, but I didn't want to sound like that. But he was very gracious through all of it. And so I am so ecstatic about Sean getting this chance.
Yeah, that's terrific. And isn't the award like tomorrow or something for the music?
Yes. Right? Yeah. So we'll find out here probably Thursday.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is, And it's funny, I kept always saying, how everyone says, well, it's great just to be nominated. And I said that my whole life. I have said that. Then once you're nominated, you go, okay. It would be even greater to be chosen. But it is true, though. We are ecstatic here that it's nominated, and Sean totally deserved this. And Miko and Michael, who wrote it with Sean, amazing.
Were you involved at all with the casting, or did you get help for that?
I was, I did all of the casting.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I know. I chose, again, the people just work. I don't know if you know Atkins. Estes, he played Junior.
Oh, yeah.
In the film, the bigger boy.
Yep.
Like, I had a vision in mind for the boys. They were all kind of like, when I wrote it, they're the hot boys in the neighborhood, and they look good and they talk cool and they were whatever. And then Atkins comes in, and he was amazing, and the whole thing was just not what I had pictured, but he was so amazing. I went, this guy's going to nail it. And oh my God, he is outstanding in that. Outstanding. People even say to me, is he really, because he played the slower boy, but I wanted to show how those boys, even though they were tough, they looked after him. But he's not slow. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing person. And he just nailed that for us. So, things hit, and you just kind of do what comes to you.
Yeah, of course.
All the boys were phenomenal. They sort of bonded. People would say it felt like because it didn't take a long time to shoot the film. And they said it felt like they'd been together forever. Not watching a movie where people were sort of disconnected, and that can happen sometimes.
Well, and this is one of those experiences that they'll probably be talking about it 30 years from now. And probably some of them will still be close.
And I hope some of them will join us in our series. So.
Oh, you have to do that.
I think I have to do that. I think you're right. I think I do. But they would do, and all of them really honestly did. We had T.I.'s young son, who was the first time he'd ever done anything, and he was just such an impressive young man.
Yeah.
When he came in for I saw that he was very nervous. I tried to make him feel, not so nervous. We talked about basketball a little bit, and I said, "Do you like basketball?" "I don't know." And he kept saying, "I don't know." "No, I haven't played it." And I kind of joked with him. He was just himself. He didn't come in and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a basketball fan. I'm a whatever." He was just true to himself, So I was really happy to give him that role.
Yeah, that's amazing. What is it? Is it more difficult to write a script or a book?
Book.
Yeah, I would think so too.
A book. If you have to have the patience and decide you're going to take some time. A script is not like that for me. A script is written. I write a script very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's I much prefer. I'm not doing another book. I didn't really want to do the second one, but I was talked into doing the second one because everyone thought it was helpful and informative and whatever. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. With that, so once this is done, you're working on the series now. The movie's out.
Yeah.
The next one coming is Loud Silence.
Yeah, it'll be Loud Silence or the other side of that. It doesn't matter to me which one.
Okay, so the one or the other.
Yeah.
Have you how do you replace Maya Angelou as a director?
Should I put it out there? I'm going to put it out there. Yeah, she's the boss. I got to tell you, because I tend to keep everything, close, I guess. But when we were doing this, we started to do this, and obviously then Maya Angelou passed away and different things, and I lost my husband, and we didn't get to do it.
Right.
But we had talks. I had talks with the amazing, my favorite actor is Alfre Woodard.
Oh, love Alfre Woodard. Yeah.
Alfre Woodard invited me. She invited me to her home. We had lunch. We talked about, she had read the book at that time and the script, I think. I'm not sure. Both, I think. And then the next day, we talked again. And she was going to play one of the roles in the film. She is the most amazing actor.
Yeah,
she's my favorite.
One of my favorites. I mean, she is amazing, talented.
She is so unbelievable, so powerful. But she's such a really, really nice person. She was very kind to me. She didn't have to be any of these things, but she was very kind and very supportive. So I don't know if Alfre directs. I really don't know, but I would love her to direct Loud Silence.
When you said that, it sounds like, it seems like she should direct. It just sounds like
that's what I thought. That's what I think. I think she should. But she knows the show. She knows the book. She knows the script. She knows what it's about. And there's things that she thought should be worked into it that I didn't realize because I don't come from the same place as she does either.
Right.
And it's taken me years to realize that, because to me, everyone is the same. No one is different. I just
Right.
don't have mindset. But people do look at things from different points of view, and she's amazing. She was absolutely amazing. So that would be my hope, that she would do that for me.
We're putting it out there.
Thank you. That's what I thought we would do.
Yeah, if she's listening, we want her.
We do. We absolutely want her. We do. She's amazing. She truly is amazing. So I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if she does that, but maybe if she wants to, I'd be willing to hand it over to her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrific.
I have no qualms about that. No.
So when you create, when you write, is that kind of your mindset? You're not overly attached to it so that you're able to bring somebody in to help if you need it?
No, I don't bring anyone in.
Yeah.
I am attached. I am attached. I am.
It'd be hard not to be.
It's I write things and I know what I still watch Sons, and if someone wants to see it and we come and we watch it, I cry in the parts that I know are coming. Like I know what's happening, but when I'm watching something, it's not like I'm watching something I did. I'm just watching it as a movie I'm watching. But my writing is me. My writing is a part of me, and that's why I did it the other side of the bed. I wanted to say what I wanted to say, and hopefully we can do the right things in these shows. We can do the faith, the family, like I say, community, and that comes in different forms and different ways and different times in your life. But I think maybe just to show that you have to look at people a little differently, not just if they're not like you, or they don't think like you, it doesn't count.
That's right.
I think we've gotten in trouble like that, I think, in the world today.
Yeah, the last few years have been a little rough. We haven't been as tolerant as we normally should be.
No, we're not. And I'm not preaching. I don't want anyone to think that what we do is preaching. This is how you do it, because I'm just trying to write things that we do the right thing at the right time. And if we don't, we say, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. Or the characters I write, I want people to watch them. And I'm sure you've watched many movies or many shows, series, that when you attach to these characters, just like the Chicago PD or the Blue Ridge, you attach them when they do wrong or they fall down and you go, geez, you really shouldn't have done that, but you root for them anyway.
Yeah.
And I think you have to attach. The movies are very character driven, and I think we need a little bit of that.
Those are my favorite movies. The ones that it's the interactions with the people in the movie. That's the one, and the dialogue. I love that.
Yeah, that's what we try to do, and hopefully we do. And people will think about it and go, next week I hope that person, I love them, but they didn't, they blew it this week, maybe next week not so much. So
yeah. Well, when you get to the other side of the bed, when you get to making that one, are you going to put yourself in there somewhere?
No.
No cameo, nothing, little.
Oh, no. Never. But my heart and my soul is in that. It is about coming out the other side, not by replacing what was lost, but finding more of yourself and moving on. I really don't like that expression, but my heart and soul for sure is in that one. Is really in everything I do.
And I love that, because that's, honestly, to be happy, that's what we have to do. If you're not putting your passion into something, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a tough one, being passionate about and loyal to certain things. It's like, you can take your hits, but you have to, that's life. And you do move on to a certain extent. You just move on differently. One of the lines in The Other Side of the Bed is like, when do you let go? Our lead asks a friend of hers, when do you let go? And when is this over? And she says, when you decide to let it go. Nobody can tell you to let it go.
Yeah.
So you put it somewhere. That. You do well. We're going to have you watch that show too.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching. I'm a fan. You've got me.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. You're gonna cry, and I know men cry too, so that's cool.
Well, I'll tell you this: I'm probably the most emotional man you'll meet, so I
Oh,
guarantee you'll cry.
okay. Well, you're
I'll try to pretend like I'm not, and it's pointless because I'll be teary eyed. I guarantee it.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I think so too. I mean, don't everybody feels better when you have a little bit of emotional release? Nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Well, yes, it's true. And I try to keep that on the paper or on the computer when I'm doing it. But we will, even though like the series will be a police drama, it's going to have many tears.
Love it. I love it. Well, Lynne, thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this one. I think you're such a talented writer, and it amazes me that you don't just have one thing out. You've got one out and two more coming, or maybe three more if you count the TV show.
Yeah, yeah. We're as I say, we are blessed, and when someone gives us a nod, it's humbling. It really, truly is, because there's a lot of amazing talent out there. So we're just happy that someone takes a look at us once in a while.
Yeah, well, congratulations, and you have to come back when whatever's next. If it's the TV show or the movie, you got to come back.
Well, it'll probably be the series, and I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So a couple little things before we wrap up. Well, I guess really just one. We've talked through what you have coming. Where can we find out about the projects, and where can we find you on social media?
Well, I am not on social media, Michael, but
Not yet.
is. Have Faith Productions. My production company is Have Faith Productions. You can look for everything there. Sasha.
Yeah, and it's easy to find. I found that really easy.
Yeah. But you can find any one of those, but not under my name. I'm the one that has not joined social media.
You're the one person that is.
I know. I am the one person. I just keep saying, Sasha, does everybody like the movie? Is anybody watching the movie? She goes, lots of them. So I hope everyone watches this movie and enjoys what we did.
I think they will. I think they will. Lynne, thank you so much. And definitely let's do this again.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, hold on one second. Son to the Grave is the movie. It's out now. If you're a drama fan, a sports fan, kind of that city, split city type of fan, where you have the haves and the have-nots, this is one you have to check out. Son to the Grave from Have Faith Productions. Lynne was terrific and such a talented writer. I love the fact that she wrote her book, wrote another one, and then the stuff just kept coming. And now she's sitting on, maybe 3 movies and a TV show. I mean, that's amazing. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you'll lend her your support. It's not just a good movie, an important movie, I think. So definitely check that out. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. We definitely don't take you for granted, and we'd appreciate your help as well. If you prefer to watch, our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. That helps us out so much. If you're a listener, just wherever you listen from, just subscribe there. That'll help us as well. Appreciate you. Until next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Too Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. Not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. You know, those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, you know, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.